Hi, I'm Jessica. Today I'm going to teach you some phrases with turn. These turn phrases are commonly used in speaking and are good to know. They're actually from the book Viewpoint 2, the student's book, Unit 11. If you don't have this book, that's fine because you can still use these in your everyday life. Okay, let me go over them with you now. So we're going over turn phrases, popular phrases with the word turn in them from Viewpoint 2, Unit 11. The first phrase is turn back the clock. This phrase has two meanings. One is to return to the past or to a previous way of doing things. For example, if I could turn back the clock, I would not get married at such a young age. If we implement this new method, we will be turning back the clock 20 years. This means like you're going back to a previous way of doing things. It would be a method that is from 20 years ago. Another meaning for turn back the clock is to set the clock to an earlier time. For daylight savings, when we fall back, you're actually setting the clock to an earlier time. So I can say, can you turn back the clock? It's 10 minutes fast. So if the clock is the wrong time and you need to turn it back 10 minutes, you can say turn back the clock. Another phrase is turn your back on. Turn your back on someone or turn your back on something. This means to refuse to help, support, or be involved with someone or something. It can also mean to ignore, exclude, abandon, or give up on someone or something. Let me give you some examples. Sadly, the company has turned its back on its customers. Joey turned his back on his family when he became famous. The country turned its back on a country that had previously supported. So maybe if your country was supporting financially or in another way, supporting another country, if it decided to stop helping them and refuse to help support them, then you could say it turned its back on this other country. Another example would be, Asenya was my best friend, but she turned her back on me when she left me stranded at a party. Turn into. This is a phrasal verb. PV means phrasal verb. If you forgot, a phrasal verb is two words. First word is a verb, like turn. Second word is a preposition, like into. Turn into. The first meaning of this phrasal verb is to change or transform into some other form or something different. For example, the couch turns into a bed. It's a couch, but it transforms into a bed. The light rain turned into a downpour. The caterpillar turns into a butterfly. The town was turned into a popular vacation spot. I hadn't seen Michael since he was a kid. Now he's turned into a handsome man, right? He's changed or transformed into a handsome man. Turn into is a phrasal verb, and the first word turn is a verb. So remember, since it's a verb, you can change the verb tense. So if you see the couch turns, the light rain turned, past tense. If you want to do future, you could do will turn into. So just a reminder that you can change the verb tense for turn. Turn into has a lot of meanings. Another way you can use it is to mean to change or transform someone or something into some other state or form. In this usage, a noun or pronoun is used between turn and into. So you'll do turn, then like the object, the noun or the pronoun, and then into. Let me show you what I mean. Olga is expecting a baby, so she is turning the spare bedroom into a nursery. Turning the spare bedroom and then into. She was discovered by an agent who turned her into a movie star. The last example, the witch turned the boys into frogs. Turn into can also mean to take a turn leading into some place or thing. Maybe we're driving or we're running and we turned into a dark alley. The car's acting funny. Let's turn into that lot and check it out. So maybe we're driving, the car is acting funny, it's not driving well, it's making strange noises. Then we're going to turn the car into a lot and then check the car out. We can also use turn into to mean that time passed slowly while you waited for something to happen. So you might see this in books. Maybe it's written, weeks turned into months, and she still didn't hear anything from him. This would show that time was passing slowly while she was waiting to hear from this man. Okay, the next one is turn to. Don't get it confused with the one we just looked at, turn into. It looks similar, but this one is turn to, turn to. This phrasal verb can mean to try to get help, advice, or sympathy from someone, or to start doing or become involved with something. For example, I can always turn to my mom in times of need. Here, this turn to means you can get help, advice, or sympathy from your mom. When his parents got divorced, he turned to a life of crime. Here, this would mean the second meaning. He started becoming involved with criminal activity. When Harry's wife left him, he turned to alcohol. Again, this is the second meaning. He started drinking alcohol, and he probably used that to soothe the pain of his wife leaving him. After Sophia's tennis career ended, she turned to acting. Again, this would be the second meaning, where she started becoming involved in acting. She started taking up acting. Turn to can also mean to look at a particular page in a book. So if your teacher tells you, get out your books and turn to page 51, right? You need to turn to, look at page 51 and turn to pages to get there. Another meaning of turn to is to direct your attention, thoughts, etc. to someone or something. Once winter break is over, I will turn to redecorating my house. So that means you're going to focus your attention on redecorating your house. Another meaning of turn to, if you see number 5, is to shift or redirect one's loyalty to someone or something else. For example, after news surfaced that the candidate had a history of lying and mistreating women, many voters turned to his opponent. This would mean, let's say there's a political candidate that you were going to vote for or you supported, and then you find out that he or she is not who you thought they were, or you found some news about them that you didn't like. So then instead of supporting that candidate, then you're shifting or redirecting who you're going to support to the opponent. So instead of maybe supporting the original person you wanted to vote for, now you're going to turn to and support the opposing candidate or another candidate instead. Turn out. Turn out is also a phrasal verb. This means to result or end up as, this is usually an unexpected result, or to be discovered to be something, have something, etc. For example, Julie met Octavio on a dating website. At first, he seemed like a nice guy, but he actually turned out to be a jerk. This would mean that she discovered that he actually was a jerk. He wasn't a nice guy like she had thought. The dinner turned out really well. This would be, like I said, an unexpected result. We usually use turn out for something that's unexpected, that surprises you. Like Julie didn't expect Octavio to be a jerk. Maybe someone cooked for you and they've never cooked before and it didn't look very good. And you thought, this is probably going to taste bad. And then you eat it and you're like, oh, actually, it's really good. The dinner turned out really well, or the dinner turned out to taste really well. The next one, he is disappointed with how things turned out. He's disappointed with how things ended up being. What was the result of it? Last example, it turned out to be a mistake. So maybe you discovered, oh, actually, it was a mistake. Turn out can also mean to arrive for attendance, especially in large numbers. For example, we had more people turn out for the conference than last year. Thousands of screaming fans turned out to celebrate the team's championship win. Turn out as 2 words is a phrasal verb. However, if you put it together and you write it as 1 word, turn out, then this becomes a noun. As a noun, it means the number of people who go to or participate in something. For example, there was a good turnout at the meeting. Voter turnout was 50%. Here, these are both nouns. The main verb for both of these sentences would be was, because here, turnout is a noun. So remember, as 1 word, turnout is a noun if it is two words here as a phrasal verb, then this will be functioning as a verb, not as a noun. So just keep that in mind. Turn down. This is a phrasal verb that has a couple different meanings. The first meaning is to refuse an offer, request, or invitation. The second meaning is to reduce the amount of sound, heat, or light produced by a piece of equipment by pressing a button or moving a switch. You can use a noun or pronoun between turn and down. For example, sadly, Kumiko turned down Motoi's marriage proposal. This means she rejected and refused to marry him. She didn't accept his marriage proposal. You shouldn't turn down an opportunity to study or work abroad. It's such a great experience. If you've never studied abroad or worked abroad or lived abroad, hopefully you'll get a chance in the future because it is an awesome experience. So here, turn down again would mean refuse an offer, a request, or in this sense, an opportunity. The last one would have the second meaning. The last sentence, your music is really loud. Could you please turn it down? Here, we're talking about the second one. You're reducing the loudness. You're lowering the volume. You don't want it as loud. Turning point. This is a noun. This phrase means a time at which an important change takes place which affects the future of a person or thing. I have 3 example sentences for you. The first one, that job was a major turning point in his career. The new law marks a turning point in the nation's history. Having a baby was a turning point in their lives. These were all important changes that affected the future of the person, or in the second one about the nation's history, then this affected the nation and then, of course, the people living there. Turn over a new leaf. This is an idiom which means to change one's behavior or attitude in a positive way or to make a fresh start. For example, she has done some bad things in the past, but now she's turning over a new leaf. Right? She's changing. She's not going to do bad things anymore. She has a fresh start. She's going to be a new person. Max promised the teacher that he would turn over a new leaf and start behaving in class. He's going to change his behavior. Instead of being naughty, he's going to be well behaved. Turn a blind eye. This idiom means to deliberately ignore something bad that is happening because you do not want to take any action over it, or to ignore something and pretend that you don't see it. For example, the police were turning a blind eye to drug smuggling. So maybe the police were corrupt and they were getting paid by the drug smugglers, so they were pretending that they didn't see it. They were ignoring it and pretending that they didn't see it. They would be turning a blind eye. Another example is, can't you just turn a blind eye to what happened? Turn around or turn something around. Turn around is a phrasal verb that has several different meanings. One is to change a plan, business, or system that is unsuccessful and make it successful. For example, he was hired to turn the company around. Maybe the company isn't doing well, and then they hire someone new, a new manager or CEO, to help make the company profitable or successful, earn more money. Then we can say he was hired to turn the company around. The company pledges to turn orders around in less than 24 hours. This has a different meaning. If you see the second meaning, to supply or complete something in a particular time, this is what this sentence means. So if the company pledges to turn orders around in less than 24 hours, they're going to complete the orders in less than 24 hours. The game turned around when Messi scored 2 goals. Maybe the team was losing, but then Messi scored 2 goals, and then the game was turned around and they were either tied or it was closer. Turn around can also mean to reverse the direction of something or to cause something or someone to face the opposite direction. It can also mean to say or do something that is unexpected or that seems unfair or unreasonable. For example, if you and your brother keep fighting, I'm going to turn this car around and head back home. Maybe a mom is driving and she's getting angry because her kids in the back are fighting. If she turns her car around, then she's going to reverse the direction. Maybe they're going this way to the park, and then if they're going to turn around, then they're going to go back home. If they go back home, then they're going in a different direction. When someone called my name, I turned around. Maybe I'm walking and then someone behind me is like, Jessica, Jessica. And then I turned around to see who it was. So I'm turning this way, I'm turning my head or my body, then I'm turning around. Last example sentence, I was shocked when she turned around and blamed me for what had happened. This would be the fourth meaning, to say or do something that is unexpected or that seems unfair or unreasonable. Turn around can also mean to consider an idea, question, etc. in a different way, or change the words of something so that it has a different meaning. For example, this isn't working. Let's turn the whole idea around and look at it from a different angle. The 10 turn phrases that we learned today are turn back the clock, turn your back on, turn into, turn to, turn out, turn down, turning point, turn over a new leaf, turn a blind eye, and turn around. So you just learned a lot of turn phrases, and I know it can seem like a lot, but the best thing to do is study them and practice with them. I've created some Quizlet cards for you that contain these phrases and the meanings. So if you look in the YouTube description, there's a link to the Quizlet card set. You can study with them. And then you want to practice with them. So use them in speaking, use them in writing. You can use them when you're talking to other people. And for writing, you can write a sentence in the YouTube comments, use a turn phrase, and then I'll check to see if you used it correctly. And if you didn't, I'll give you some feedback. Okay, good luck with using your turn phrases, and good luck also on your English journey. See you next time. Bye.